Alright, in this video we're going to look at how we could make a number of different types of worksheets from the presentation that we have in front of us. So we're going to go create and we're going to quiz, and we're going to go for a short answer quiz, and we're going to go for 4 questions, and we're going to create a quiz about this presentation and click next and perform brisket. So it has created the 4 questions. They're short answer type questions. In other words, they don't look for a lot of depth of knowledge. Now, I'm going to create an answer key for these. Just highlight the dot, because if I don't, it will append the answers at the bottom of this. So create brisket, and it goes off and does it again. So it has created the answer key there. It's given the important points on the answer. So that was short answer. So now we're going to look at a long answer quiz. So we go back to the slideshow and Brisk icon again, create quiz, and this time we're going to go for a long response, and again we go 4 questions. Click next, new doc, brisket, and off it goes and does this thing again. So as you can see, this time the questions themselves are actually longer and the language is different. Compare and contrast, right? So there is more detail required, and again we click create an answer key and highlight the text unless you want the answer key on the bottom of this. So if it does happen, it goes on the bottom of this. You can always cut and paste into a new document. It's not the end of the world. So brisket, and it starts creating again. Now, this time you can see the answer key has a lot more content in it. So the answers require more content. So that's the main difference between your short answer and your long answer. Now we're going to look at an inquiry worksheet. So go back to my Google Slides, we'll create, and we create an inquiry worksheet. So create an inquiry worksheet about this presentation, and you go brisket, and then you wait for it to do it. Now it has given you, it breaks it down into different areas based on your slideshow. So it's given the basics, the components, all the things that were on the slideshow. It has examined those in greater depth. Now, it doesn't give you the option for an answer key here, but you actually can. So sometimes if you click on the page, the option for the answer key goes, but there is a workaround. So if you notice we're using answer key, it's under the create anything. So if you go Brisk, create, and we say create anything, and very simply we just print a prompt what we want to do. So very simply I just asked it to create an answer key for this inquiry worksheet, and again I have highlighted the content so that I get it on a separate sheet, and it goes off then and it does it on the separate sheet. So it has created an answer key for the questions that were there. So that's an answer key for your inquiry worksheet. And again, the caveat all the time is you proofread this. You would proofread the inquiry worksheet first, obviously, before you create this. Then you would proofread this then as well. Now we're going to look at what they call depth of knowledge questions. So I go back to the presentation now. So create DOK questions, they call them, about this. Now you can specify the number of questions if you want, but personally I just leave this off. Now I don't use this as a worksheet. What I do is it will give me questions of different levels that I can use for a test or whatever. So we'll just look at what it does. All right, so it has created and it's divided into categories. So the questions that would just for recall and reproduction of the information, understanding skills and concepts involved, strategic thinking questions, and then extended thinking questions. And again, it gives you activity ideas for each of these. Now, you wouldn't generate a answer key for this because there's too much, and it won't do it. But what you could do is there is an exemplar function in this, and we can use the exemplar function to give an exemplar answer for any one of these questions. So we'll take it and look at it. So what I'm going to do is just take one of these here. I'll take the last one here. So I'm going to highlight that. and I'm going to go to Brisk, create, and I'm looking for exemplar, and it's here. So then I just type in the prompt. So create an exemplar answer for the highlighted question. Click Brisk and it will bring it out then, and it will give you an outline of the points in the answer first, and then it will give you an actual answer. Now again, caveat, proofread this, make sure it's factually correct. Just because AI does it doesn't mean that it is actually factually correct. So make sure before you give out anything that it is actually factually correct. So it goes through there, generates up a very, very comprehensive answer.